It feels like we're on the ground floor of the world's biggest weed company. We're seen as corporate cannabis, right? We are the big kid on the block. What makes it corporate cannabis? It's success, basically. The moment legalization happened, it sort of became that corporate or government-controlled entity, and it ran counter to what, one of the principles that was so inherent to the foundation of the cannabis culture. You become the man of cannabis. There's a little mat here you can just step over. It's an antibacterial mat that the workers step on instead of using booty. You can see on each of the tables there are the little plasticized notes, and that tells you what strains are on the table. Each strain, each plant has a specific level of nutrients or combination of nutrients that we give them, so it's different for each one. So we're always working to dispel that perception of us as corporate cannabis, but at the same time there's only so much you can do around. So let's check the flowering rooms here. So this is an example of an indica. There are a few ways that you can maximize your grow efforts through things called LST or low stress training. The netting here that we use, you basically just lead the branches as they grow through holes, kind of separating them a little bit. And instead of upward growth, it encourages side to side or horizontal growth, which is actually better for the plant instead of shooting all the nutrients up and towards the lights. And you actually get a more even distribution of light exposure, which produces stronger, healthier, bigger nugs across the plant. This is where the magic happens. As you can see, they do it's called the rough trim. They then go into these black machines, spin them around really quickly. It takes off another layer of the trim, and then they go through the tubing into the final one. Those cylinders actually have small blades on the inside, and then all of the buds fall into our bins, sorted off, and they set to dry, dried, cured, and packaged for sale. It takes about a shift to a shift and a half to do one crop, which is about 400 plants. And in most cases, we're sending out to government agencies that are buying it.
Hey.
That's the money shot. So from here, they go onto flat trays, basically baking sheets with little holes in them, and they get moved into total darkness in the drying rooms. This whole thing is basically safer than a bank vault. It's got the motion sensors in the ground all around it. At any given time, it had up to 400 million in products stored in there. Cannabis hasn't ever been studied until now in a real sort of laboratory, in a controlled environment, in a regulated or government-funded way. So this opens up the doors to all kinds of investigations and all kinds of academic research. This is our research lab, so basically we're our own in-house researchers, or a lot of the time University of Ottawa. We're working with the University of Ottawa quite a bit to do research on cannabinoids and the effects and benefits. So we have 64 patents currently and over 200 filed right now around the world. So we believe in cannabis, we believe in the good that cannabis can play, but we're not in the business of sort of manipulating scientific research or doctoring results or muzzling any sort of scientist. If ever, some sort of negative research did emerge, we don't think it would be sort of a deal breaker to the industry. We think that it's just in the early stages right now, and there's a ton of, the sky is the limit.